Hello, I'm Ted Goshman with the Molloy Business Channel Market Report, and here with me today are analysts Matt Schlatter and Angelica Lopez to discuss the most valuable company in the world, Apple. Angelica, Matt, thank you both for being with us. Apple has a lot of big news lately. They've come out with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. In the coming months, there's going to be the Apple Watch, and then even in developments to their laptops and iPads. So, Matt, do you think, compared to their competitors, do you think Apple's still able to stay on top?
I believe Apple will continue to stay on top. Apple's growth is driven primarily from its smartphone sales. We saw in the first weekend alone that the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus sold over 10 million units. And CEO Tim Cook actually said that this was the best product release ever. So Apple's continuing users and new users will be sure to use the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, especially with the new software, the iOS 8 coming out, which offers upgrades to camera, messaging, and content sharing. So Apple, once again, with its loyal customer base and with this new technology, will be sure to attract even more users going forward.
As of recently, Apple's coming out with their new watch. Do you think that they're going to be able to overtake Samsung, who's already entered the market, or do you think they're going to have some issues getting in there?
I don't think so, Ted. I think watches are kind of a quick-lived fad in the market. I don't think Samsung's watch is going to be around much longer either. I just don't see watches as being a necessity. You already paid several $100s for your most recent smartphone, and that smartphone has all the capabilities you could possibly want. The watch is limited in what it can actually do. So I think consumers are going to be very hesitant to purchase the watch, and it's going to be more of a matter of if you have the money and if you want that status symbol.
Right, and starting at $350, do you think people are going to want to pay that premium on the watch, Angelica?
I would say no, maybe not the average person. However, someone that wants the status of having the Apple Watch would. I don't think it is a necessity, such as Matt said. So people aren't going to be willing to run and go get the new Apple Watch.
Right, and another issue for Apple as of late is that their iPad sales have started to slump. Do you think it's just another speed bump in the road, as CEO Tim Cook said, Angelica, or do you think that the company is going to continue to see declining sales?
I don't think they're going to see declining sales. However, I think it's going to stay pretty steady. Once you have an iPad, you're not really going to upgrade very quickly like you would do an iPhone. That's something that you keep over the years and let mature a little bit. So it might be a speed bump in the road, as he said, but I do not see much growth for the iPad.
And Matt, another area where Apple is really looking to lead is the electronic payment industry.
Right.
They just came out with their Apple Pay. Do you really see it going anywhere? Do you see it being a serious, or not getting much interest from the public?
I think Apple Pay will take off. We've already seen major retailers such as Walgreens and McDonald's. McDonald's came out and said that half of its touch-to-pay payments are Apple Pay. And Walgreens has said that their mobile payments have doubled since Apple Pay. So I do feel like this is just the tip of the iceberg. I feel like once other big retailers start to incorporate Apple Pay into their offerings, I think it'll lead to greater traffic in stores. And it's also more convenient for consumers because much of the public has iPhones. And if you're not going to offer a way of paying with your iPhone when most other retailers do, you're at a big competitive disadvantage by doing that.
Right, and I think one of the big concerns here is if millions of users are going to use Apple Pay, is it safe? Do you think that hackers are going to look to Apple Pay as a target, or do you think it's pretty safe and Apple's built it so that people won't be able to get your private information?
I think absolutely this is going to be a huge target for hackers. While it is safe and Apple has done as much as they possibly can, you don't know exactly what's going to happen until it does. So people don't actually want to be the guinea pig for that. They're very hesitant towards it, and you can see why. So I think that Apple Pay is probably going to be a very slow start. Maybe eventually it will grow. However, while major markets have accepted Apple Pay, a lot haven't, and I think that's a very smart move on their part because they don't want the scandal to go through them.
Right, and actually, as of recently, Apple's stock has been soaring, and actually there's been some predictions that it's going to hit the $1 trillion mark in market cap. So, Matt, where do you see the stock? How do you feel about it?
Well, since Apple did its 7-to-1 stock split on June 9th of 2014, Apple stock is up 23%. Now compare that to the overall market, which is up about 7 or 8% over that period, and you have a very bullish outlook on Apple. And as more innovation comes down the pipeline, I think that Apple stock will only continue to increase. And as we know over time, stocks generally do appreciate. So the outlook on Apple is very bright right now.
How do you feel about it, Angelica? Are you a buy, sell, or hold on Apple?
Right now I would say hold. I wouldn't do anything drastic right now. I would just say keep steady. They're on the right track.
Right, wow. Thank you both very much. Matt, Angelica, that's all the time we have for this exciting and never-ending Apple story. I'm Ted Goshman with the Molloy Business Channel Market Report, and we'll see you next time.